So, I saw Captain America, Civil War, twice this weekend. Once with the guys, and once with my wife. And I have to say, it was pretty great. It was the Avengers movie Age of Ultron wanted to be, and it was refreshing to have characters that talk to one another, not just make constant sarcastic quips, while I have to struggle to hear the plot over the chortles of the audience. It was great, and I had some inner child geek out moments. Spider-Man, the Giant Man. But this isn't a Civil War movie review. No, this is a fan theory about the future of this Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it contains spoilers for the plots and characters of Civil War, so if you're not in the know, turn back now. Recently, it was announced that Avengers Infinity War 1 and 2 would be renamed because it purportedly didn't necessarily fit with the themes of the project, present them as a two-part finale. So at least one of them will be renamed. You could keep the Infinity War as the big MCU blow-off as part of the whole culmination of the Thanos storyline. But that first one, what could it be named? I was thinking of Avengers crossovers and storylines. I don't think we'll get the Evolutionary War or Operation Galactic Storm movies, I'm just saying. But one possibility is Dark Reign. Not only does it sound like a cool movie name, but it could sort of fit into the Captain America/Avengers story arc post-Civil War. Despite Marvel having Spider-Man and his supporting characters back in the MCU fold, I don't think the center of my proposed Dark Reigns movie would actually be Norman Osborn. It would be a villain introduced in the Civil War and miraculously saved from the one-and-done tradition of Marvel movie villains. I'm talking about Baron Zemo. So this wouldn't be a true Dark Reign storyline, but rather the original Thunderbolts storyline adapted into the MCU. Essentially, the core components are the same. Power vacuum is left by the disappearance of the Avengers, and that leads a villain to pose a group of his henchmen as superheroes in some sort of plot to take over the world, or whatever supervillains do. In the Thunderbolts' case, it was Baron Zemo, after Franklin Richards zapped the core Avengers off to the Heroes Reborn universe in the wake of the onslaught in the late 90s comics. Oh god. At the end of the Civil War movie, the Avengers are in tatters, with War Machine gravely injured, Black Widow turning on Iron Man to aid Captain America. Black Panther did the same, and Captain America, Falcon, Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, and Ant-Man are all underground as well. The fallout of Civil War has led to a power vacuum. Someone needs to fill it. Another key character in Civil War is General Ross, Secretary of State. He wants the Avengers to be agents of the U.S. government, in conjunction with the UN. He wants a team of superheroes who will play by his rules. With this power vacuum in the post-Civil War MCU, Ross would seek to replace the Avengers with his own recruits, rather than those chosen by Nick Fury and those renegades over at S.H.I.E.L.D. He would decide to form his own Avengers initiative, but he names it after himself. General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross forms the Thunderbolt Initiative. So he would go about and recruit people that are not necessarily the absolute best and quote-unquote greatness, but those capable of, the superpowered things, who also follow orders. This would lead to a team that is easily manipulated, probably by Zemo, who, is in custody at the end of Civil War, but he is obviously going to escape, and he could either usurp them independent of Ross, or he could join the Thunderbolts proper under false pretenses. It's already been shown in Civil War that General Ross and his underlings are complete idiots, since Zemo took the place of a psychologist sent in to evaluate a captured Winter Soldier, and no one batted an eye, despite the fact that Zemo looked nothing like the guy he took the place of. It seems that no one knew what a psychologist evaluating the world's most wanted fugitive looked like before he showed up. It's weird. But I digress. Either way, Zemo interjects himself into the Thunderbolts, possibly under the guise of Citizen V, or, because that name is kind of lame, maybe they dust off the Iron Patriot armor from Iron Man 3, which would give it more of the Dark Reign feel. Or maybe he goes by the sassy nickname U.S. Agent, and in cruel irony, he has Captain America's shield, which Cap gave up at the end of the Civil War movie. Either way, because General Thunderbolt Ross sucks, he recruits a team of people that are easily manipulated, and so Zemo gets his own team of people to further degrade the Avengers by becoming heroes and making the Avengers look like the villains. How would this team roster of proposed Thunderbolts shake out? Well, you got Zemo. He'd be the leader, of course, established in the Civil War. the character of Atlas. Ant-Man's suit was in custody while he was on the raft in Civil War, so Pym particle technology could be imitated for the team's resident big man. He could be a special ops soldier that shows no particular greatness of spirit, kind of like the type of Tommy Lee Jones originally wanted for Captain America in the first Avenger. With Techno and or Mach 1, they could be disgruntled Pym Industries or Stark Industries employees, and you have some copied Stark tech from the government. Robot suits are pretty easy to come by in the MCU, so these could be, fobbed off pretty quickly. Songbird and or Moonstone, maybe they have one of them. Maybe they're an Inhuman. That hasn't really come to play in the MCU yet, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. established that Inhumans exist, so maybe this is just sort of to tie in one of those little plot points and make it feel like part of the greater MCU, so you could have an Inhuman in the form of Songbird and or Moonstone to have some of those just more generic superhero energy abilities. And then maybe you need another team member who's not of the core group, some flunky villain. My personal pick would be the Silver Age villainous Black Knight, who was around for like a cup of coffee. He'd be a decent choice, as he fits the description of the old brilliant scientist who invents some sort of flying technology and becomes a costume adventurer for some reason, which is sort of a generic enough backstory that they don't need to spend too much time in a movie. So then you could have him as a flyer too, and so you got like Black Knight, Songbird, Techno, Mach 1, Atlas, and Zemo as this group of Thunderbolts. And that could be lead to a big brouhaha where the Avengers fight the Thunderbolts, but the Avengers look like the bad guys for attacking these poor, sweet new heroes, these agents of the U.S. government, the good guys, until like Zemo reveals his evil plan to, let's say, steal Vision's gem, because that would tie it all back into the Infinity Stone arc at the end, because he'll separate the gem from Vision, but then Thanos zoop, whoops in and grabs it. Is this ridiculous? Is it possible? Is it too good to be true? Is it too poor to be written by a sane adult? Let me know what you think in the comments, and check out more of my audio goodness on the What If podcast and theslimjames.com.